Comic books and books is going to be quick this time around. We just have one piece and it's about the Rippaverse, so let's go. Welcome, nerds, to the comic books and book news for the week. This is where we talk about all things comic books and literature related. So if there's a new book coming out, we're not going to get into individual arcs necessarily, unless there's some sort of like major publisher-wide effects that are going to be related to said arc. We don't really get into individual arcs or individual issues. We just talk about the broader news at large. So without any further ado, let's talk about some comic books and possibly some books as well. So no follow-ups, no trailers, no corrections, none of that stuff. We're just gonna cut out all the fat and go right into regular-ass news. Regular-ass news, we got the Rippaverse. So Eric July and his, I don't know, are you supposed to say ISOM or ISOM? I honestly don't know, but they just keep scoring W's as far as the staffing goes over at the Rippaverse. So previously it has been announced that former DC and Marvel collaborators Chuck Dixon, Gabe Eltaeb, and Joe Bennett all switched from where they were to now working with Eric July in the Rippaverse. Joining their ranks is Mike Baron, who famously wrote, I actually interviewed Baron a couple of times. I think it was once for this channel, once for a different channel. Famously wrote, I think he did Punisher for sure, and then he did like a Terminator thing back in I think it was RoboCop actually, back in the day. So pretty noteworthy writer, has been a little bit under fire and scrutiny recently because his conservatism shows pretty hard. But still, solid writer. He does really good stuff. In spite of whatever you feel about the politics involved with his writing, the actual writing itself is solid if you read his stuff. So pretty awesome. He's been brought in to do a book called Goodyng. Goodyng? Goodyng, I don't know. Goodyng. It's a character inside of the Rippaverse who is a frequent collaborator with ISOM. I'm just gonna assume that's how you say the main superhero's name inside the Rippaverse. But yeah, Mike Baron's been tasked with filling out the backstory for Goodyng. So that's pretty significant, man. Yeah, I'm definitely here for it. This is story over politics. He just wants a good story to happen, and he knows the people that are itching to write that good story. And Baron has a pretty good track record as far as quality stories go. So I'm pretty excited about this. We'll see what happens there, but that's what we got. No launch time frame just yet, though it has been greenlit. He is into the actual script. So that's if you follow the link, you can see kind of how Mike Baron's workflow is and understand that that's a pretty significant step in his workflow.
Oh, hey nerds. So, I gotta make myself useful. Now is the point in the show where you subscribe. I gotta chill for my lunch, so hit the subscribe button, tell everyone you know about the show. That way we can keep doing these things that we do to keep you informed of all that's going on across the nerddom, as it were. Yeah. So thanks, and I'll see you next time, I guess. Alright, back to the show.
That's all we got though for comic books and books. So let's talk about suggestion for comics. This week, again, Halloween, we're themed. It's October. We're talking Witches from Scott Snyder. It's the art by Jock. This book is honestly just a hell of a book anyway. But as far as like staying in theme, it's a horror comic book. Staying in theme with Halloween, this is going to be a solid read. I believe it's Image Comics. Yes, Image Comics is who put it out. It came out in October, started October of 2014. It is 6 issues long. And honestly, some of the best horror, it is a little graphic, so kind of heads up, but some of the best horror comics you're ever going to read. Witches, read all 6 issues. It's totally awesome. Once again, nerds, this is just the comic books and books section from the Week in Nerddom, which is the much longer video that gets posted over on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy or @generallynerdy, however you gotta find it. That's the main channel. You get the entire, usually around about an hour-long video there that goes into other topics as well, TV, movies, rumors, etc., etc. Go check that out. Before we leave you, though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.